So 2024 in terms of champions has been a little bit on the meh side. I don't want to say meh. It's just been a little bit disappointing, I'd say, because apart from two champions, not a lot of people really chasing anyone else really. So I thought I would do my 5 favourite champions of the year so far. So this is all my opinion. This isn't like a definitive, what the community thinks. It's just personally who I've liked so far this year. And if you don't like it for whatever reason, that's fine. Just let me know your opinions in the comment section below. That's what it's there for. So yeah, let's just crack on with it, shall we? So it's my 5th favourite champion of the year so far is Prowler. Now, I have been playing around a little bit with this guy. Haven't ranked him up at all yet. I just find him a little bit, because I'm still learning him, I still find him a little bit finicky to play, I guess is the best word for it. He's definitely, I know that people who have him as like rank 5 ascended, they like this dude a lot. They really, really do. He's probably the best offensive character we've had so far, especially considering like the 2 champions which will be on this list are defensive based, let's say. But yeah, what I quite like about Prowler is his interactions with specials. So if you don't know, with Prowler, he will drain the opponent's power bar to 0, whatever special they throw. So like if they've got a special 1 in the bank and they're halfway to a special 2, they'll throw the special 1, the rest of that power is drained away as well. As my dog just jumps up on my bed. And yeah, he's immune to falter, which is nice. I don't think, well, obviously, we have like people with like vigilance and all that. But a character who is just outright immune to falter without having vigilance or tracking or whatever. It's very, very nice. Also, incinerating bleeding as well. But special 2 burst, I know I haven't ranked him up yet on my account, but from what I've seen, it's pretty good. And you do need quite a high sig on Prowler as well. Yeah, because you get better, higher crit rating when opponents faltered, which is nice to have, obviously. So yeah, that is Prowler. I think, if people have him high sig as a 7-star, if you got very, very lucky, or you have him rank 5 ascended as a 6-star, I don't think he's going to change. I don't think when it comes to his rebalancing, I don't think it will. I think he's a solid addition, not one of the best, but just very solid. Nice utility-based tech champion. Next up, coming in number 4, is Negga Sonic Teenage Warhead. I think the hype going in for her was quite big. Did she live up to the hype? Not necessarily. I think that her place will probably be an alliance war for all the pesky skill defenders, because that is essentially what she's built for. All the annoying skill defenders, she completely counters, because all of her stuff is passive. So Incinerate's a passive, Stuns are passive as well. So yeah, all of the annoying purifying skill champions that you can think of, she basically counters them. She's also a hard counter to Bullseye as well. Excuse me, which is nice, because Bullseye, after his rebalancing, is basically not changing essentially. But we'll get to Bullseye when we get to him. But yeah, mucking around with Negga Sonic, I can see it being used in battlegrounds for those matters where speed doesn't matter at all. So she wouldn't really work in this current meta, I'd say. But yeah, I think the fact that all of her stuff is passive really, really helps her out. I quite like her playstyle as well, which is the thing I got to say with Prowler. I do like his playstyle as well. But yeah, I think just the fact that all of her stuff is passive definitely makes her valuable. I think she's a solid addition to the mutant class or roster, whatever term you want to use. So we'll see how she gets on. Will she be rebalanced? I don't think so. I don't. But again, you know, we said the same thing with Bullseye about him getting a nerf, and he's not really getting nerfed at all. But yeah. Speaking of Bullseye, he is coming in at number 3. I wish that this guy was just that little bit better on attack. That's the only thing I wish for. Because he was one of my most wanted characters to come to the game, and I was really excited when they announced him at the beginning of this year that he was coming. But he's just an annoying defender. He can do stuff on attack. The trouble is, especially if you want to use him in Battlegrounds, he's just far too slow. Even though he's safe, he's just too slow. But why is he an annoying defender? The killer instinct, and the fact that if you don't have a bleed immune champ to fight him, you're going to take a lot of damage, essentially. Fun and interactive damage. So what are Kabam doing with his nerf? All they're doing for his nerf, I put this out in a community post when it was announced. At the moment, how Bullseye works is when you dodge a basic attack with the Dexterity Mastery, you get instant bleed damage on you. That is going away. That basically doesn't change anything because the main source of annoying, fun, interactive damage with Bullseye is his special one. Because unless you're using someone like Iceman or Valkyrie or something like that, the most common special for Bullseye is a special one, and yeah, it can do quite a bit of damage if you don't have a bleed immune champion. So yeah, again, I'm not saying like Bullseye's bad. He is one of the most annoying and best defenders we've had in a very, very long time. I just wish he was a little bit better on attack. That's all I really wanted. But I think that if you wanted to bump him up on attack, he'd be an even more annoying defender. And he's going to be an even more annoying defender because his special one is now being changed, which it does make sense why they're changing it because, well, it didn't make sense to begin with. I didn't even know it was a thing. But his special one, when he throws his cards, they were counted as physical hits rather than projectiles, which made Archangel really, really good for Bullseye. So now Archangel's going to be less useful for Bullseye, and it's going to make Bullseye a little bit more annoying on defense. So, yeah, again, Bullseye, look, now that he's been in the game for like 6 months now, people know how to fight him. The nerf to his damage on defense is kind of yeah, that is Bullseye. I'm not saying like I don't hate the character. Like he's on this list for a reason. Like I really, really like him. Like he's an annoying defender. I personally like using him on offense and like event quests and just questing in general. Maybe not like battlegrounds and all that, unless like Photon shows up or whatever. But yeah, I really like Bullseye. That's why he's coming in at number 3. I like his playstyle. I like that he's an annoying defender, even though it is incredibly annoying to fight him. But yeah, that is it for Bullseye, coming in at number 3. Now, number 2, I think is the most underrated champion to come out so far this year, and that is Ironheart. I got her out of the Titan, and she was the only character when she was in the featured 6-star crystals, so I didn't get. And I was really excited to get her, and I really like her. Shut up, Teddy. She is actually decent for quite a lot of annoying fights. I recently found out she's a really, really good Bullseye counter when you have the tracking passive up, because you don't take the special 1 instant bleed damage, which is really, really nice. Opponents via robots suffer, 100% offensive ability accuracy reduction when hitting Ironheart's block. Or suffer, so opponents via robots or suffering from a tracking effect suffer 100 offensive ability accuracy reduction, which is why she doesn't take any instant bleed damage from Bullseye, which is actually quite nice. I didn't know that until I used her on Bullseye in BGs a couple of days ago. So yeah, that tracking passive is so good. I think it's the best thing in her kit. Because it just does so much when it's on the opponent. You can parry non-contact attacks with her. So I've taken characters like I've taken Ebony Moore with her, so that's quite nice. She's a good photon counter as well because you can actually reliably stun her, and because of tracking, she'll never go untouchable if you keep that tracking up. Which the tracking debuff is passive is really easy to keep up as well. But the thing with Ironheart, I think she was kind of marketed, or at least the community saw her as sort of like the tech version of Scorpion. Is she the tech version of Scorpion? Sort of. I think that she is. I just really, really like her. I think she's a fun character. I bring her into Alliance War pretty much since I've got her. Like, I've got her rank 2 for a reason. And I think if she was awakened, I'd probably rank 3 her. I'd like her a lot. But you get depending on the health pool, special 1 when you're close to a special 2, and then throw the special 2 when you've got a load of debuffs and armor ups up. It's a fun time. Which is why I really like her. But go back, is she the tech version of Scorpion? No, I think Scorpion's still decent. I think she's just below. She's definitely below what Scorpion can do. Not necessarily to say that Ironheart's bad. Again, she's on my list for a reason. I think she's just a lot of fun. And I think that tracking passive does quite a bit for her. And the fact that you can switch, similar to Scorpion, where she's only got 2 pre-fights, or 1 I should say, where you can change her Incinerate to Rupture, which makes her better for certain fights, like Bishop, for example. I think she's quite a good Bishop counter because she can block mutant special attacks when she is got the tracking passive up, which again is very, very easy to keep up. So yeah, that is Ironheart. I like her a lot. Nice. I do think she's a decent offensive champion. Defense, you would never put this gal on defense whatsoever. But yeah, that is Ironheart coming in at number 2 on my favorite champs of the year so far. Now, number 1, out of all the champions, come on, I think Serpent undoubtedly is one of the best champions to come out of this year. Why? If Bullseye is annoying on defense, this guy's even worse. I personally find, although again, he has his counters. Like Kushala is probably one of the best counters for him. But the reason he is annoying is undexable special attacks. That is the reason he can do so annoying, and the awakened ability as well. I think this is the part that could get nerfed. I really, really do. I've got rank 4 max C200 because again, because of the rebalancing program, until I know if the champion's going to get nerfed or not, rank 4 is my limit. So once per fight, when Serpent would be knocked out, he has a 125% chance to consume all dread and gain a death immunity buff. which cannot be staggered or nullified. That is why this dude's so annoying, because regardless if you get this guy down, he gains so much power. Obviously he regens as well, and if you don't get him to throw either special 1 or special 2, you're taking a special 3 to the face. But again, the fact that the undexable special attacks, and he can go stun immune as well during your special attacks, I believe. I believe that's how it works. Let me just see if I can find it here in his... Special attacks, da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh yeah, he gains each gains true focus as well. I can't find it in here, but I'm pretty sure it is in his kit that he goes stun immune when he goes stun immune when you do when you activate a special attack. It's definitely in there. Which again, and also I personally find him pretty decent on attack. I know, like, for this victory track meta, I took him into some offensive matchups. He does pretty well, but he's definitely built for those longer fights. So I think that incursions, he'd be pretty... I haven't tested him out in incursions, but I imagine he'd be good for that. Be interesting to see how he does in the next story content we get with Act 9. Be interesting to see how he does there. And I've seen him do some fights in Necropolis, like obviously like in a deep dive he was doing Future Ant-Man. But yeah, I think this guy's going to get nerfed on defense, definitely. If he doesn't, I will genuinely be amazed. I will genuinely be so amazed if he gets no change to him on defense whatsoever. But that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like it, dislike it if you disliked it. And if you enjoyed this video, check out some of my other content. And if you'd like my other content, feel free to subscribe. And I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.